Hey guys, and welcome to Learn How to Crochet with Crystal. Tonight we will be making well, I don't know what you call it. I call it a pot holder, but then I don't think that's right because I think you like grab it with a pot, which you could probably do with it thicker like this. But a hot pad, I guess, is maybe a better term, where you can put your hot pot on your surfaces on top of this. So we're not going to do the pie because we're heading into spring, so I figured it'd be nice to do like a flower. So I'm going to be doing a daisy. I'm going to be using green and white. You can pick whatever two colors you prefer, like pink and white or yellow and white or whatever you want to do. But yeah, these are the two that I chose. And so this one, the green one here, is Loops and Threads. It's a number 4. And it's cotton. So that's good. That's what we want. Anything like dishcloths or hot pads or hand towels, anything like that, we want to use cotton. So I got the big ball. You don't have to get the big ball for this project. This one was smaller, and this one's 24/7 cotton. So they're two different brands, but they're both the same. This is a 4 as well. I don't have the paper, the wrap for it anymore. But yeah, so they're both a size 4. If you see here, they're like the same size. And this one here is in key lime. The green is key lime. I will put links below so that you can see which ones I used. Okay, and tonight we will be working in rounds. So this is our first time working in rounds. I pulled too much yarn off. Hopefully I don't get tangled along the way. So we will be learning something new tonight. I am using a size 4mm hook. I'm going to have a needle to sew in any ends if I need to, a tapestry needle, and I have a little stitch marker. Because we're working around, I definitely recommend a stitch marker, especially if you're newer to crocheting. I typically don't use them too much, so I may forget to use it, but once it's in there, I probably will remember. But yeah, stitch marker. Because when you work in rounds, sometimes like you don't know where you kind of end, or if you lose count, you're like, and then you're trying to figure out where you started, and if you have to pull it back, then that's a little hard to do when you're working rounds, and opposed to going back and forth, because you know when you reach the end of the row, you're good, but when you're working rounds, you don't know where you started or where you begun. So this is very important. Also, if you don't have a stitch marker like this, that is completely fine. Again, I will put a link in the description below, but you can use a bobby pin. You can even just like cut like a strand of yarn. I've seen people do that and just kind of put it in your beginning stitch so you don't lose your spot. And then the only problem with that is sometimes it does fall out, and hopefully you don't lose where you're at. But yeah, if you have a bobby pin lying around, what else could you use? Like a safety pin, or yeah, anything like that should work. So I have that, and of course my scissors. All right, so let's get started here. So if my dogs end up going a little bit crazy, I apologize. I don't know what's going on in my neighborhood here. There's something happening because there's fire trucks and stuff out here. Nothing new in my hood. There's always something happening out here. Anyway, I hope everyone's okay, but yeah, just a heads up. You might hear sirens, or you might hear dogs barking, or what have you, and hopefully it doesn't interrupt us too much. I think the sirens have stopped, so hopefully we're good. That's why I had to wait a bit though. Anyway, so to start with working in rounds, we can do a magic ring a couple of ways. Okay, there's the more advanced way. I call it the more advanced way because it took me a little bit longer to kind of figure out. And it is kind of hard when you're first starting to crochet. It can be just to kind of get it down, and again, like working into it sometimes can be a little bit difficult. But basically, I have my long piece here and I made a cross here. So I put my little hook underneath this one and I pull the one that's on top through and slide it off my fingers here. And I'm going to pull, like hold this knot here so everything doesn't fall apart on you. And you pull this little tail and now it's tightened around my finger and I just slip it off my finger. Okay. Now to kind of secure that, usually we do just a chain to kind of hold that in place. And then we work within this hole. Okay. So this is a little bit more of a difficult way to kind of do a magic ring, but when you pull this, like you work around inside the magic ring, so your stitches will be inside here like so. And when you're done, you pull this tail and it tightens it, and it tightens it really good. This way of doing a magic ring, I typically do if I'm doing amigurumi or anything that's kind of stuffed where I'm working around, just because it does close up nicer, like tighter. But I'm not too worried about it with this project, just because like it's not stuffed. If there's like a small hole here or whatever, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about like stuffing coming out. But you know, if you prefer that way, or if you want to try that way, go ahead. But for tonight's tutorial, I'm just going to do the easier way, like we kind of have been, where you kind of just go around your finger. You pull this loop up off your finger, and you're holding this cross here. And you kind of just push that longer thread here in through and pull it tight. Pull this tail, and then you'll have your starting loop. Okay, so to do this, we are going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then what we're going to do is we're going to work through the first chain here. So if you see this one right here just above my thumb, we're going to go inside there, and you want to try and make sure you have both of these 2 loops on the top of your hook. So we're going to do half double crochets, and we're going to do 8 of them. Okay, so we yarn over, we try and go inside that little hole. It might be a little awkward at first, and we pull up a loop, and we go through all 3. Did that a little tight. All 3 loops on your hook. Okay, so that's 1. We're going to do that again. Yarn over. So these are half double crochets. Pull up a loop. And we go through all 3 on our hook. 2. 3. And I'm going to work over my tail just so I don't have to sew it in later. If you want, you can leave it dangling and sew it in later if you're okay with that. That's 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over. Pull up a loop. And 5. 6. Oops. Losing my threads. Hold on. 6. And this will be 7. Yarn over. And this will be 8. So, I know these are beginner tutorials, but some people maybe a little bit more advanced. And I've realized, like, when I start crocheting and kind of trying to figure things out, and as I said to you before, I'll try and give you a few like tips or tricks or show you things that, you know, I was trying to figure out along the way of crocheting, so that, you know, you can always come back to this video. So if you're brand new, like brand new at crocheting, and you've been following along with these videos and it's just too complicated for the math part of it, don't even worry about it. Just la 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 la, plug your ears and don't worry about it. But for those who are curious about like how the counts go, like to make this bigger, and how we increase and make it like coming out, I will be including kind of the math in there as well. So we are starting with 8. Most times when you're working rounds, people will start with like 6 or 8. I'd say that's like 80% of the time, and majority of the time it's 6, but because I wanted ours to be a little bit bigger, I'm going to do 8. Okay. So now that we finished our first row, 8 times 1 is 8. Okay, so we have 8. Now we're on our second row. So 8 times 2 is 16. So in order to get to 16, we need to do an increase. So an increase is doing 2 half double crochets or whatever stitch you're working on in the same stitch. Okay, so we got to do 2 half double crochets in each of our stitches around to bring us to 16. Okay, let me find my hole here. Get in there, you. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And like I said, I'm going to put that string on top so I don't have to sew it in later. So this is 1. Okay, and before I forget, on our first one here, so this is our first one made, I'm going to put my little, yay, I remembered, my little stitch marker on our first one there. So that is our first one that we made. Okay, so that's 1. And we're going to go into the same stitch and we're going to do the same thing, 2. Okay, and we're going to do that all the way around. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2. So this is 4. Okay, and here 1, 2, 6, 1, 2, 8, 1, 2, 10. Sorry, my arms are dropping here. Let me push it down a bit. Okay, 10. Turn over. Go inside there. 1, 2, 12. Get in there. 1, 2, 14, and then our last one right here, for me anyway. I'm gonna go into here. Wait. All right, so let's go into where our thing is here, I guess. Let's see. I think I might have put it in a little one stitch sooner than I should have. 1, 2. All right, so let's give this guy a count. Oh yeah, because I missed it. I missed the stitch, sorry. So here's our first one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay, so now we can take this guy off. If I can get him off, there we go. So we have 16 on there. Okay, 8 times 3 is 24. So we need 3 half double crochets and at least 1 increase within like our 8, like because we started out with 8, right? So let's call these sections. So this is like our first section, second section, third, fourth. Each one only has 2 in it right now. 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now we want 3 in each of our sections, if you want to say starting on the 3rd row. So I hope that's not too confusing. I'm trying my best to explain it, but regardless, we need 3. We need to work in 3 to get to 24. And 1 needs to be a double. So let's do our double here. 1. And let's not forget our stitch marker. Hold on, let me do this. I'm going to do the 2 double in here first, and then I'm going to put it in 2. All right, there we go. So I'm going to put it in right there, just before my hook. Okay, so we have our double. So to make it 3, we need 1 single here. Okay, so we yarn over. And we need 1 single. So if we're talking sections, that's our first section. Okay. So we need 8 sections of these 3 to go around to increase. So hopefully that makes sense. So then we go into our second section. We do the same thing. We're going 2 and then 1. 2 half double crochets. Okay. And 1. All right, so that's 6 altogether, 3 and 3. Okay, now we yarn over. We're going to our 3rd section. 1, 2, 1, and the next one. So we're at 3. Let's see, 3, 6, 9. Okay, so that's our 3rd section. Yarn over. 2 in the same stitch for our increase, and 1 on the in the next stitch. So that's 12, and we go 2 in the next, and 1. So this is 15. So this should be our 5th section, if you want to say. Okay, and we go 2 in the same, and 1. So this is our 6th section, and that's 18. 2, and 1. 21. This is our 7th, and we're on our last one, and good. This one worked out perfectly. So we're working in these 2, and then here's our first stitch here. Okay, so this is our last one, our 8th section, because we start out with 8 crochets, so we'll have 8 sections basically. All right, so that should be 24 at the end of that row. Okay, so now I'm going to take this guy out for now. Now we are on row 4. So row 4 At the end of row 4, we should have 32. But again, we need 4 stitches per section. So, and one of those has to be an increase. So 2 half double crochets in 1 stitch. So we'll do 2 half double crochets in 1 stitch like we have been. We've always been starting out with that. And for it to equal 4, we'll do one single half double crochet in the next, and 1 single half double crochet in the next stitch. So 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do my first one in here. Okay, and then my second one. And then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put this stitch marker in there. One before my hook, because the one around my hook is my second one there. So 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have 4 here, and we got to do that 8 times around. Okay, so 4, 1, 2 in the same, 1 singular, and another singular. So this is 8, 2 in the same, 1 singular, 1 singular. Okay, this is 12. Sorry, just had to pull more yarn up. So this would be our, what are we at? 12, 4, 8, 12. So we just finished our 3rd section. We're going into our 4th. 1, 2, in the same stitch, 1 singular, and 1 singular. 16. Oh, 4, 8, 12, 16. So this is our 4th, sorry. This is our 4th we just finished. 2. And then 1. And 1. And this is our 5th of our 5th section of our 4 stitches. And we need 8. We should be at 16 now. No, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. We should be at 20. And we want 32 by the time we get here at the end. Hopefully my math game is on tonight. 2 in the same stitch, and 1 and 1. Got my yarn caught up in my stitch marker. Get out of there, you. All right. 2, 1, and 1 in the next one. All right, so we should be at 28. And that should be 7 sections. And our last one, go 2, and 1 and 1 for our 32. 1 and 1. Okay, so here we go. We should have 32 around there. Okay. Sorry, just trying to pull some yarn off my ball here. Give me 1 second. All right, now I'm going to take our little stitch marker out. Okay, and now we are on round 5. So at the end of round 5, 5 times 8 is 40. So we should have 40 at the end of round 5. And these ones are a little bit easier, so you need 5 per, say, section. So 5 sections. Or five stitches in 8 sections. If we're cutting it up like that, like a pie, if you want to say. So we're going to start out with our 2, like we always do, because each has to have a double in there. So once we know that, we do our 2. Let me put my stitch marker in here. Voila. And to make it 5, now we do 3 singles. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that's 5. Now we do it again. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's 10. Okay, so that's our second section. One yarn over, and we go 1, So like I said, when I do this, I want you guys to have a little bit more of a challenge. Yeah, it is more challenging, yes, but at the same time, a little bit of an idea of why we're doing what we're doing, behind what we're doing, so that if you did ever want to do crochet and take it to another level, you kind of have the understanding behind it. You kind of learn a little bit faster than being like, well, why am I doing that? And what does that mean? And how does that work? Right? So, as I mentioned before in my videos, I like to try and, you know, elaborate a little bit more in hopes not to confuse you. I'm hoping I'm not. And like I said, if I am, then, and you just want to focus on the crochet aspect right now, if I'm jumping too far ahead for you by like including this, I'm so sorry. That is not my intention. But then just forget about the math part of it. Just know for this row, this last row, we're doing like 2 half double crochets and 3 single in each one. So 2 in one and then 3 singular ones. And that's fine. Right? Like I said, this video will be here. You can always come back and see how you do it later, because you'll probably question like, oh, yeah, I wonder how that does work as you kind of go along. And so it will be here, so you can always come back and check it out. All right, so here we go. I'm going to take this guy out just so I can work in there. So our next one is our 6th row. So 8 times 6 is 48. So we should have 48 at the end of this. And we're doing 6 in our sections because we're on the 6th row. I hope that makes sense. So 1, and we're always starting with our 2 in the same stitch at the beginning. So we don't forget to do it because each section needs to have those 2. All right, so there's our first 2 for that section in the same stitch. So our increase is done. Okay, and then so we need 6 altogether. So we have our first 2. Now we're doing 4 singulars here. And this is how we increase each time. You see how it's growing? Like it's getting bigger and bigger. So now we do 4 singulars 8 times around, 2 in the same stitch, and then 4 singulars 8 times around is going to be 48. Where am I at here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is our second section done now. So that should be 12. We're at 42. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and voila. So I know this is curling a bit now, but the bigger we work it out, it will flatten out more around the edges, so don't worry about that so much. Okay, and take our stitch marker out here. And again, we're going to do a double in here, of course, or an increase, so 2 half double crochets in here. And at the end of this next row, we should have 56. So 8, we're on our 7th row now, so 8 times 7 is 56. So we're in 8 sections, we should have 7 stitches in each section. Okay, so if we start off with 2 in here, right, 1, 2 in our first stitch there. Let me find my little stitch marker, put it in the one right before. So now we need 5 more to make it 7. So 5 singular ones, not in the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's our first section done with 7. 1, 2, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is our second section of 7, so this is now 14. our 7th one. So 7 times, no. Yeah. Sorry, 6th and 7 is 42. And 49 stitches. We are on our 6th section. Or sorry, our 7th. 7th section, 49 stitches. 1, 2, and then 1, 2. Good night, honey. 3, 4, and 5. Oh my. Get in there, you. All right. Okay, so that should be 56. Now, let's see here. Stuck here. Hold on. There we go. All right. You see how we're getting bigger and bigger and bigger? So now, all right. So we have a couple more rows to go. So we'll do 8 sections of 8 this time. At the end, we should have 64. And of course, we need our 2 double crochets to start us off in the first one, which means we will be doing 6 singular half double crochets. Put our stitch marker in there right before my hook here. So we have our 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oops. Try that again. 3. 4, 5, and 6. Okay, that's our first section of 8. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's our second section of 8. So we're 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's our third section of 8. So we should be 24. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. Oh, did I mess up somewhere? Miscounted, I think, somewhere. 4, 5. Oh boy. All right. Let's see here. See, this is why this is important, because if you need to pull apart, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 2 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Aha, right here. See, so I did 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 in that one. So here's my double one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I take these two doubles out, there we go. So there should be 6 after this one now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, give me a second here to catch up. So we have, like, if we want it as big as this one, which this one's pretty big, it is thicker because it's double-sided. So we just basically have like one more row to go, and that should be able to fit like your bigger pots, your medium, and your small, which is kind of what I want for you, like, so that you can use it for all of them. So we'll do one more row at 72. Okay. So at the end of your row, you should have 72. Wow. Sorry, just trying to pull some yarn off my yarn ball here. All right, so we're going to do 2 in here. 1, 2. Put our little stitch marker in here. Voila. If I can get it in there. Get in there, you. There we go. All right. So we have our 2 for our section 1. And we are going to continue doing 9, right? We're doing 9 this time. So 2 half double crochets in the same stitch, which we just did, and then we need 7 singular ones. Okay. 1, 2, and of course we're going to do this 8 times because we start out with 8 half double crochets in our magic ring. Better stop talking or I might lose my space again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. First section done of 9. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, so this is 18, section 2. 1, 2, and then 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. First section done at 27. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 26. Let's see this now. Okay, so maybe one more. Maybe we'll do one more and we will make it 80. And then after that, we will do the border around. Okay, so 1, 2. So I'm going to put this little thingy on the inside here. So that's my first stitch there. And you got it. We're going to do 8. So we have 10 single crochets in each section. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and so that's 10 at one section. So there we have it. Okay, I think that's pretty big, right? I think that's good. Should fit a big one. And then remember, like with the petals too, is going to come out more. And with the width, with the petals, it should hold like a fairly big pot. These can also hold like casserole dishes and stuff too. So long as they're not touching the table, right? Like this one's a little thicker, so it'd probably do better for that. But these ones will probably work up so that like once we have the petals on, like I say, and then it has that little bit of edge to it, it should kind of hold it a little bit above the table, depending on, I guess, how much heat is coming off of it. Like you still don't want it to get burnt. If you just took it out of the oven and put it on the table, right, it might still, the steam might still kind of, I guess maybe burn your table. So yeah. Also, the cotton is also really good for placemats. So if you wanted to, you could keep going with this, make it bigger, 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 bigger. Or, we could have did a smaller one of these and then made it like a wash or a dishcloth. But yeah, you can make these bigger and then have them as like placemats for your plates. Oops. Smacking you around now. No. So yeah, so give me a minute here and I will be back and we will start with the petals. Okay, so here we are, guys. We have our 80 stitches around. Okay, now we're going to attach our second color. So we're just going to hang it over our hook here like so. we are going to pull it through. Okay, and then to secure that, we're just going to tug on these two tails. I usually don't cut my tail off, but I did tonight before I started like continuing on, but that's okay. Anyway, we're going to do a slip stitch, or a chain one to kind of secure that. Now I'm going to work over my ends here just so I don't have to sew them in later, but if you don't mind sewing or you find it easier just to sew them in later than to work around them, totally up to you. So what we're going to do now is we are going to half double crochet all the way around. Okay, so take this and half double crochet in every stitch around, so at the end it should be 80 altogether. Okay, and I'm on my last one here. So you should have 80 around, like so. Okay, and then what we are going to do is we are going to attach it here on this first chain. Actually, on the second one, we're going to slip stitch to here. There we go, just to attach it. Okay, now we are going to slip stitch in the first one. Oh, sorry, we're going to chain one first. Then we're going to slip stitch in the first one here. And we're going to do a half double crochet. Okay, a double crochet. Yeah, there we go. Double, a treble. 1, 2, 3. So for a treble, we wrap around twice. Okay, we insert our hook just like a double, but we wrap around twice, and then we pull through 2, 2, 2. Okay, so 2 trebles. Okay, and then we're going to go back into this one, and the second one, the second treble stitch that we went into, and we're going to do 2 trebles in there. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do another treble on this side in the next stitch. 2, 3, and then a double, and a half double, So instead of a single crochet like I've shown in my previous videos, like this is where we kind of get to utilize what we've learned before. But instead of doing the single crochet, which would be between the slip stitch and the half double, I'm just chaining one because I want my petals to be more defined, where one ends and another begins. So I'm doing a slip stitch there. Okay, then a half double. Oh, sorry, I forgot to chain one. Bleh, get out of there. Chain one. Then I do a half double, and before and after every slip stitch we want to chain. So here's the sequence: slip stitch, chain one, half double, double, oops, yeah, there, hold on, there we go, double, treble, aka triple, I call it triple, 1, 2, 3. We'll go on to the next one, do another triple, 1, 2, 3, go on to the same stitch, do another triple, 1, 2, 3, go on to the next stitch, do another triple, 1, 2, 3, next stitch we do a double, next stitch we do a half double, then we chain one, and then we do our slip stitch, and then we chain one, half double again, double, triple, and 2 triples in this one, 1, 2, 3, in the same stitch there, 2 triples. The next one we're going to do a triple, okay, the next one we do a double, next one we do a half double, okay, chain one, and oops, chain one, and then we do a slip stitch, chain one, half double, double, treble, 1, 2, 3, 2 trebles in the same stitch here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, okay, one more treble, 1, 2, 3, oh, lost my yarn ball, hold on, oh, there we go, okay, then a double, half double, chain one, slip stitch, half, where am I, half double, oh, wait, did I chain one? Nope, okay, chain one, half double, and then hold on a second. Okay, half double, chain 1, slip stitch, sorry, chain 1. Yeah, that's right. Half double. Almost missed one there. Okay, double, treble, 1, 2, 3, 2 trebles, 1, 2, 3, in the same stitch, 1, 2, 3. Next stitch is a treble, 1, 2, 3. Next is a double, 1, 2. Next is a half double. Okay, and then chain 1 on here, and we slip stitch. Chain 1. Okay, and here we are at the beginning. So we chained 1, and we're just going to connect here with this one here. So this is like our slip stitch here. We're just going to connect in our chain that we first made right there. Okay. So here is our beautiful flower, and I love how the petals like are kind of lifted in opposed to flat, because it gives it more of like a, you know, real flower kind of look to it, if you want to say. All right, so there is our beautiful flower. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And again, like, you could even use this, like I said, as like a placemat for like a bowl of soup, or, you know, your bowl of cereal in the morning or what have you. I love the colors because they're spring, so nice and bright for spring. Hot pad, man, you could even use it as a dishcloth if you wanted to. It's good for that as well. But typically, if you want to use it for a hot pad or a placemat or something later, I wouldn't typically use it as a dishcloth, you know, just because it get like, you know, grimy or stained maybe, or what have you. And cotton is awesome. It's heat resistant. It's a little bit harder, I find, to work than with the worsted weight, which we have kind of worked a lot more with. So, but it's good to learn with other yarns and other ways. Like, let me know in the comments below what you thought about working in the rounds and opposed to going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Did you like it better? Do you like going back and forth better? And yeah. So if you like this video, please help me out, support me, and like it down below. Don't forget, I know I am bad for that sometimes when I watch other people's videos and I'm like, oh my goodness, I love that, and why didn't I give it a thumbs up? And if you would like to see more, please hit that subscribe button. I do have more projects coming out. And if you haven't watched the previous videos, please feel free to go back because it will help you out with the future ones in this Learn How to Crochet with Crystal tutorial. That's where you learn most of these stitches. Treble crochet isn't used very much, so I didn't do much with that, but we used it tonight. So I'm so happy that I was able to come up with a pattern that uses it. And yeah. So thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye. One last tip I almost forgot. If you would like a little thing to hang your pot holder, like I have some of mine hung up on my wall here. I have a sunflower and a pie. I'm a very like fall type girl. But if you'd like something to kind of hang it on your wall, you can just do a few chains. 1, 2, 3, whoops, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Might as well make it 10, right? 9, 10. Okay, and then all you do is you just go back down. You could go back into this one here. Any one of these two would work fine. Whichever. It doesn't really matter because you're just, I mean, these are both the same height anyways. So, I don't know. I'm going to go into this one. Why not? And we do a slip stitch. Okay. And then to finish off, we are just going to snip this guy. So we do have a little bit to sew in now. And I always like to just, I don't know why, like I guess extra security. I just want to make sure that this little guy doesn't come undone on me. So I am going to tie a little knot there, like so. You can barely even see it. And then I'm just going to weave this guy in. Only one, because we weaved in our, well, if you did weave in your other ones with me earlier, it's not too bad. I don't know. I kind of dread the whole sewing part, especially when it comes to like the granny squares like we did last time. It's like, oh my goodness, there's so many threads to sew in because you're constantly switching your thread. So I just kind of poke these guys in here. You don't really want to go through the green too much because, well, you'll probably be able to notice the white in the green, and we don't really want that. We want to try and hide them so nobody even knows that they're there. And then I'm just going to kind of go around this one more time, this little post, and I'm going to kind of do a knot there. So I'm going to leave this little loop here open if I can, and see if I can sneak my noodle. I was gonna say noodle. See if I can sneak my needle back inside. Oh, please fit. Barely. Let's make sure this guy doesn't come out of there. Okay, tighten him. Like so. So now we have a knot here, a knot here. I feel good about that. It's pretty secure. I don't think it's going to come undone. And then now it's going to be easier for me too to kind of weave into these stitches here, these other white ones. And then I can probably cut it. At that point, you know, I feel like it's secure, and then it's got a little tail going through here. Even if it unwinds a bit, it's still secure with those knots. So I'm happy about that. Okay, so you can do it whichever way you want. You know, this way's nice, right? And this way, if you like more of the textured look, this way's nice. And then the flowers are kind of, the petals are kind of coming up at you. Or you can do it this way too, right? It's up to you. It's your piece of art. Everybody's different. Some people, even crocheters, they like the textured look, right? And then you can see like the beautiful stitches and everything. And other people like this way where it's kind of just more smooth and, I don't know what I was thinking, like flamboyant. I don't know what a word is for that, but you get what I'm saying. So that's how it looks, guys. Great job tonight. This was a big one, and I know it was a little late. My son's birthday party was last week, so I kind of got a bit behind. But I'm hoping to get another video done this week, but no promises. I did miss last week, so like I said, I'm about a week behind. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I can get another one in this week, and we will see you next time.